Greetings, YouTube. Trey Black is here with another video today. A much long-awaited video. This video is going to be my second part of my hand-drawn Friday the 13th Part 3 comic. Zoom out here so you can get a better view of it. I just would like to say before I start the video, I do not own the rights to Friday the 13th or any of its components. I am not looking to promote Friday the 13th for monetary reasons. I am only presenting my comic book of Friday the 13th Part 3 for entertainment purposes only. Okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Jason Voorhees, mass murderer. Hey, now cut that out right now. That's not funny. Jason calmly pulls the trigger of the spear gun. The slaughter begins. Higgins Haven has now become a hunting ground for the hockey-masked madman. That. Ugh. Andy? Yeah? Are you still out there? Ah! 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 And Debbie is the last one killed in this segment. For now. Meanwhile, in the woods... Great shortcut, Rick. Oh! Smooch. Kissy kissy. Come on, let's move it. Always spoiling my fun. Snap! What was that noise? What? I thought I heard something over there. Come on, let's get home. Chris and Rick continue on their journey back to Higgins Haven. Back to the lodge. Back at Higgins Haven, Chuck and Chili make popcorn. The lights have mysteriously gone out. Go down to the cellar and check the fuse box. In the dark, alone. Be a man, man. Cellar. Nothing to be afraid of. So what if it's dark? Chuck continues down the cellar. Nothing to be afraid of. Jason observes his prey. Meanwhile, upstairs... Chuck, you back already? Well, at least you got the outside lights working. Nice makeup job. Chili is convinced that Shelly is committing another of his foolish pranks. Stop fooling around, man. Back in the basement, Chuck has restored the lights, revealing a monster standing behind him. That's better. Ah! In the kitchen, the lights flicker. What's going on? Get up! Shelly, enough is enough. Blood. Oh no. Oh my gosh! Ah! Ah! Andy! Debbie! Shelly's dead! Andy! No! Oh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh! Chili attempts to make a run for it. But she comes face to face with Jason Voorhees. And that is the end of Chili. Hot poker right through her torso. Ugh. And Jason prepares to carry her body off somewhere. Crystal Lake, Higgins Haven. All is quiet. Chris and Rick return to the cottage. It seems awfully quiet. This wind sure came up. It's hard to believe the Wild Bunch is already in bed. Yeah, well, who knows with those guys. Chris and Rick approach the cottage. I can't get this door open. There's something behind it. Oh, I smell something burning. Here, take this. Let me do it. No wonder some idiot left this chair there. Something is burning. The lights aren't working either. Click, click. Oh, real smart. What's going on here? I don't know. You tell me. They're your friends. Listen, I'm going to check out the living room and see what's going on there. Rick leaves the kitchen. A moment later, kitchen. Everyone has taken off and left us. They wouldn't do that. Well, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to go outside and take a look around. Rick, wait. Bang. I want to come with you. Living room. Chris calls out for Rick, but she doesn't get any answer. Only silence. Rick? 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 Is everything alright? Rick has been accosted in the darkness by an unknown force. An unseen force. He is helpless. Chris turns around and goes back inside. Chris goes back inside and closes the door. Jason continues his strong grip on Rick as he struggles helplessly. Crack! Out goes the eyeball. So, Jason has claimed another victim. Rick. Back inside, Chris wanders around the darkened cabin, alone. Ooh! Oh! Where's that coming from? Chris proceeds to head up the stairs. I don't know what kind of game you guys are playing, but I don't like it. Debbie? You guys up here? Chris steps into some leaking water on the floor. Hey, come on, you guys. Knock, knock, knock. You're wrecking the house. Chris walks in and sees that the shower is running with the curtains closed. Chris cautiously approaches. She reaches the shower curtain. She opens the shower and discovers a tub full of clothes with a mysterious red substance. She reaches down toward the tub and pulls out a piece of clothing. Looks like the piece of clothing is blood-stained. Chris rushes out of the bathroom. Rick! And rushes outside of the cabin, slamming the door behind her. Rick! Chris makes her way towards the barn through the windy, stormy night. All of a sudden, a body falls down from a tree, tied to rope. Chris screams, "Ah!" Danger is afoot. Chris turns and runs back toward the cabin. She slams the door behind her once she's back inside. Rick, help me! She cowers for a moment, and then the big picture window behind her explodes with a loud crash. Ah! It is Rick. Rick! Chris goes down to him on the floor, seeing if he is possibly still alive, but he isn't. Rick! Rick! She hears heavy footsteps approaching from outside. A large man in a hockey mask with an axe is at the window, glaring at her. Ah! Ah! Chris screams and runs up the stairs as the killer makes his way inside of the cabin. The chase is on. The very last victim. But this one isn't going down without a fight. To be continued. Next, Cat and Mouse, coming up in just a moment. Okay. Chris makes her way to the top of the stairs, watching Jason make his way up the spiral staircase. She looks around and spots a bookcase. It won't kill him, but it might slow him down. So she tips the entire bookcase over. A rain of heavy volumes fall down on Jason. Boom, boom, boom. Incapacitating him briefly as Chris makes her next move. She runs down a short hallway and enters a closet at the end of the hall. After closing the bathroom door as a small diversion. I'm sorry, I said opening the bathroom door as a diversion. Excuse me. She enters the closet door and locks it behind her. Chris is obviously terrified of the situation that she's found herself in. Nonetheless, she's determined to do what she has to do to live through it. She discovers her best friend Debbie's body in the closet with a knife savagely rammed through her throat. Ah! Chris has blown her cover and screamed. Bam! The body falls to the ground in front of Chris. Chris realizes her mistake at the last minute. She looks out the peephole and sees Jason approaching with the axe. Chop, chop. Jason is trying to make his way into the closet to get to Chris. Chris appears trapped, but not helpless, as she spots the knife protruding from the back of her best friend's neck. Her dead best friend, excuse me. She reluctantly pulls the knife out and prepares herself for the inevitable. Chop, chop. Jason has made a hole large enough to reach his hand into the closet to reach the doorknob, prompting Chris to make her move. She stabs him right in the hand. Ouch. The tables turn. Chris comes out of the closet like a madwoman, attacking Jason with a knife. Jason backs away. But Chris keeps coming at him with the knife. She continues on, and she has him at the end of the hallway, and she stabs him deep in the knee with the knife. Boom. Jason falls over on his back, allowing Chris some time to try to escape into the spare bedroom with the jammed bedroom door. It doesn't budge, so she kicks it, rams herself against it as much as she can. The door's starting to give, and Jason is pulling the knife out of his knee. Chris has just got the door open, and Jason throws a knife, and it just misses her, embedding itself into the frame of the door. Ah! Chris rushes into the bedroom. She tries the window, but the window is locked. So, she reaches over at the head of the bed and reaches down for a desk chair. She pulls the chair up. And then she uses it to break through the window, crash, to escape. Crash, crash. Whoops, excuse me. Chris proceeds to climb out of the window, of the second floor bedroom window. She's out. She's preparing herself for the drop, but Jason comes up to the window as she's about to drop, grabs her by the jacket, foiling her escape attempt. Chris tries to beat his hand to no avail. No! Jason still holds on. Chris's jacket begins to rip. Too bad, it was a really nice jacket. The jacket rips, Chris falls, and she lands on the ground, cushioned by some leaves or some soft ground. She turns over, looks back up at Jason, realizes that the chase is still on. Jason glares back down at her, obviously disappointed that he'd lost her. Chris removes the ruined jacket, makes her way around the front of the house. She steps up on the side porch of the side door, looks inside, and she sees Jason coming down the steps after her. Chris decides that she's got other plans for Jason, so she silently removes herself from the window, walks around, and she puts herself on the front porch this time. looks inside, makes sure that it's still clear. Jason hasn't come out yet. And she reaches down for a nice big log. Nice big log, yeah. So Chris waits in ambush for Jason to come outside so she can lay him a nice one over the top of his head. Jason comes outside, not even knowing that Chris is standing right behind him, and she plops him one over the head. Clunk! Jason crashes through the structure of the railing of the porch. Chris makes her way past him carefully. And there's the van sitting there, waiting for Chris. She opens the door, gets inside, slams the door. Keys! Keys! Chris panics. Come on! She gets the keys in the ignition. Chris is ready to go. Lights come on. And the lights illuminate Jason. Oh no. So, Chris decides that she's going to step on the gas and try to run Jason over. But Jason apparently has some gymnastic skills, because he jumps out of the way, unharmed. Vroom! Chris makes it past him. She's sure that it's over and she's going to escape. She's lived to tell the tale. Little does Chris know, she is about to be in for the shock of her life. What's happening? The van begins to conk out and eventually stop. On the bridge. No! Chris tries to start the van again. Come on! Come on! The van is not turning over. And Jason is approaching just as the back wheels of the van begin to sink through the weak, ancient structure of the bridge. Chris turns around and sees Jason is very close, and she gasps, "Oh!" Chris tries to start the van again. Still nothing. There is a chance that Chris may escape. She realizes that she's out of gas. Gas! Chris flips a small switch, activating the reserve tank. Click. The engine roars to life, and Chris sighs in deep relief. But her living nightmare is far from being over. The wheels of the van sink all the way through the structure, causing her to be marooned on the marooned on the bridge. Chris turns around, shocked at what's happening, not understanding. Jason comes around to the van and grabs Chris by the throat. Will Chris survive? Well, we will find out in our next segment of my Friday the 13th Part 3 comic book. I truly hope you have enjoyed this video of my Part 2 of Friday the 13th Part 3. I enjoyed making it. I look forward to Part 3, probably the conclusion of the book. Only time will tell. Thank you very much for watching. This is Trey Black signing out, and we will see you next time.